She looks at you, holds eye contact a second longer than normal, and says absolutely nothing. No comment, no joke, no soft, "You're funny," just a quiet half smile that gives you nothing to work with. And somehow, that nothing sits heavier in your chest than anything she could have said out loud. Most men think silence is the enemy of attraction. It's actually one of the most powerful forces behind it. Today, I'm breaking down the 3 kinds of silence that build obsession and the one kind that destroys it completely. Here's the truth most men never learn. Explaining yourself kills desire faster than almost anything else. When you fill every gap with a text, a justification, an extra effort to be understood, you remove the one thing that makes someone lean in, the unknown. The man who explains everything becomes predictable. The man who lets some things go unsaid becomes magnetic. I call this the over-narration trap. It starts innocently. She seems distant, so you clarify your intentions. She goes quiet, so you check in to make sure she's not upset. Every silence gets filled, every gap gets explained, and without realizing it, you've handed her the entire script of who you are. There's nothing left to discover. There was a guy who did this for months with a woman he really liked. Every short reply got a paragraph back. Every pause got a follow-up to smooth things over. He thought he was being thoughtful. She told a friend weeks later that talking to him felt like reading a book she'd already finished. He put it himself once. I gave her every answer before she even asked the question. Now here's where it gets interesting, because not all silence works the same way. The first type is the silence of restraint, not responding to every message the second it lands. You reply when it's right for you, not the instant your phone buzzes. This signals you have a life that isn't built around her attention. The second is the silence of certainty. When she tests you, a flirty comment about someone else, a slow reply, a vague answer, you don't chase clarification. You stay calm and let it sit. Certainty doesn't interrogate. The third, and most powerful, is the silence of self-containment. You stop narrating your feelings before she's earned them. You let her wonder what you're thinking instead of handing it over on demand. That gap is where obsession is born. Not because you're playing games, but because you respect your own inner world enough to keep some of it private. This isn't manipulation, and it isn't cruelty. Women aren't drawn to mystery because they enjoy confusion. They're drawn to it because certainty without effort feels less real. A man who reveals nothing earns no trust. A man who reveals everything earns no intrigue. The men women stay obsessed with simply pace what they share, the same way a good story paces its reveal. So here's the shift. Stop treating every silence like a problem to solve. Before you respond, ask yourself, am I replying because I want to, or because I'm afraid of what her silence means? If it's fear, wait. You're not punishing her. You're protecting your own presence from being spent on anxiety. If you've spent years over-explaining, over-giving, just to feel secure, that wasn't weakness. Nobody taught you silence could be strength instead of rejection. You were just given the wrong rules. The man who learns to hold his own silence stops chasing certainty from someone else and starts becoming the kind of presence people can't stop thinking about. If this hits something in you, subscribe. This channel is for men done repeating old patterns and ready to actually grow. And if you're looking for where to go next, my previous video on dating successful women like a king is the perfect follow-up. People who've watched both back-to-back said it all finally clicked. That link is on your screen right now. Do not sleep on it.